Three, two, one. Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the movie Hangout. Brand new comic book update. I cannot believe that I found this thing in the condition that it is in, for the price that it is in. But before I get to that, if you could just go on down and click subscribe, comment, and like, I would really appreciate it. All right, so let's get to it. So I've been expanding my comic book collection. I'm more into the vintage comics from like 80s, early 90s, and I'm trying to, or I was trying to, I finally completed it. What I was trying to do was to get the first volume, so volumes, comic book issues 1, 2, 3, and 4 of the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now that came out in beginning of 1984, and then 85 is when they came out. And I was able to get number one first. I got that over a year ago for my birthday. It was a little pricey, and it was also autographed by Kevin Eastman, who was one of the two original illustrators of the series. So I was super pumped about that. And then I was able to get issue number 2, and I did a video on that, which is awesome condition, great price, and it was graded as well. And then I was able to get issue number 4, ungraded, but in fantastic condition at an amazing price. And that's the thing too about these books. If you're willing to be patient, if you're willing to do your research on how books are graded, what to look for, the edges, the binding, the color of the pages, the inside of the color of the pages, the color of the cover, all of these things, you're not going to be like a professional grader, but you'll be able to kind of be like an amateur grader, and you'll be able to haggle and kind of get a feel for what the real price is. So the last one I needed to get was issue number 3. Now, for whatever reason, it's been a challenge to find this one. You would think it'd be harder to find maybe 1 or 2, issues number 1 or 2, but for some reason, issue number 3 has been a real challenge. But it's here. I finally found it, and here it is. Voila. Now I'm going to be showing now this is a wraparound. I got the board on the back here to kind of give it some support. It's currently, this is how it was shipped to me. It was in a really sturdy, strong FedEx box, which is what you want. You don't want somebody putting this thing in an envelope, because it gets folded and destroyed. So if you get a comic book, if you buy from somebody and it comes in an envelope, don't ever buy from them again, because they don't know what they're doing. So this came in fantastic packaging, bubble wrapped. It's in like this hard plastic sleeve right here. It's not like a slab, but it's in like this big hard plastic sleeve, kind of like what you would put like a basketball card in, except those ones are smaller. And then it's got the acid-free board in the back, and it's also wrapped with a plastic wrap in there. So I just left it in like this. As you can see, the artwork, there's a lot of detail and shading. And with the original 4 of the Ninja Turtles, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird, and that's where you can see their names right there, Eastman and Laird, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle. What they do is, they didn't really have a lot of money at all. They basically just took like their tax reimbursement to start this series. So they don't use a lot of colors. First, the issue was in black and white, and then they kind of stuck to like a black, white, and blue. But I think it's really unique and really beautiful. I mean, the artwork is fantastic, the shading and everything. And so, as you can see right here, I found the MirageLicensing.com, and basically, this was the first printing in 1985. 38-page story, cover by Kevin Eastman. Writers, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. Pencilers, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. Ink toning, Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. And letters, Kevin Eastman. So this is definitely a labor of love from 2 artists, and I love that. I just think that it's like more of their own, right? Like if there were like 20 people here affiliated with it, with putting this thing together, you'd have like input from 20 different people. But if since it's only 2 guys, then I just think it's more special. Now, right here, this was, as you can see, this was the advanced copy Kevin and Peter had 500 advance copies of number 3 printed to sell at a New York Comic Con because these guys weren't making tons of money at all, so they had to like kind of take the show on the road, which I think is super cool. This edition is identified by its stark white cover. So you see here, it's the blue ink in the printer. It didn't quite make it all on the page. You see in this man's face right here, on the turtle bus, even like the name Laird right here, it's whiter. As in the later copies of the first print, the blue kind of sticks more, so there's better shading on the guy's face as well as the bust, and then Laird is like a light baby blue. It says this edition is identifiable by its stark white cover. Some of the blue toning dropped out. This is most recognizable in the foreground figure's face and the Laird photo sign. And the interior of the book is identical to the regular edition. So super cool. One way I was able to kind of figure out what the value of it is a resource that I use. It's not perfect, but it's pretty good. You still got to do a lot of research. You don't want to put all your eggs into this basket, but it's gocollect.com, comics.gocollect.com. And what you do is you just type in right here what's comic book. The more information in the title you put, the better. And it'll come up here. And so right here, I typed in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, number 3, first appearance. And they have the grades. Now, mine isn't graded. This, as you can see, it's not in a slab from CDC. It's not graded. But I've been researching this stuff long enough, and I kind of have an amateur grading feel for what this stuff is, that I would probably say realistically, this probably is not a 9.8. 9.8 is like mint, and that's valued at about $300. I would probably say that this one is in the 9s. It's probably like maybe like at worst a 9.0 to maybe like at most a 9.6. So the value of this could on the low end be about $120 to on the high end around 190. Now, one thing you can do is you can go on like eBay and you can look to see like on average what these are selling at, not what they're listed at. There's some crazy people that'll put like $60,000 for a comic book. Nobody's going to pay that. You have to actually go in the sold tab in the options and actually see like what they're selling at, because some might be listed for 60 grand, but they're only selling for like 120 bucks. The 120 bucks is what the real value is. So you want to do that. But anyway, I'm just so excited about finally having this thing. And I put a composite together of the front cover and the back cover so you can really see it. And here it is right here. This is the front and this is the back. How cool is this, honestly? Just look at all the detail. You got Laird's photo. I mean, you got other like just little Easter eggs all through it. I haven't even found most of them. I'm probably going to do a little bit more research and I'll be able to point them out. But they really made this cover a piece of art. And, you know, they didn't just throw something up on the front cover and leave the back blank. They really wanted this thing head to toe to be just amazing for readers and just appreciate, help people appreciate their talent, you know. So I just love when artists do this type of stuff because it's just so cool. But anyway, thanks for watching. And if you want to get more updates on my comic book collection, what to look for, you know, I'm an amateur collector, growing my comic book collection. You know, I'm learning as I go. If you want to give me some good tips, if you learned something from this video about looking for comic books, or if you want to get more future rants, reviews, original content about movies, just click subscribe. Thanks for watching. Oh yeah.